Welcome to Just an Average Fantasy Football Podcast.
Welcome in to Just an Average Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm your host, Daniel Hayes, with Matt Baker.
That's me.
You can find us at avgffpod.com. Oh, it is to a song.
I said I'm going to try it before he passes that over here. Just see.
Go give us a like, follow, subscribe. Check us out where we're at. Got a beer of the week this week. We'll hit real quick. I've never seen it, never heard of it. A lot of you may know it. I guess it might be a common beer. It's called Famosa Lager Beer. It's from Guatemala. It's imported from Guatemala. And I've seen it at the gas station.
A lot of it's written in Guatemalan.
Yeah, so I can't really read what it's about, but we'll take a taste of our Guatemalan lager.
I mean,
tastes like a lager.
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, it's not like disgusting or it's just.
It's a beer.
Yeah, it's a beer.
Yeah, it's not special. Yeah. It's Miller Lite. It's a whatever.
Let's not get too carried away. But yeah, it's just a beer. What's the percentage on it?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't see it.
I don't see it on here either.
Yeah, but
maybe it's not even maybe it's non-alcoholic. The first one they have non-alcoholic IPAs now. Like who in the fuck?
Like who would put their body through that to not get it drunk? I mean,
bro.
First of all, I got to be drunk to drink IPAs most of the time.
How big of a hipster do you got to be that, like, with your twisty mustache, that's curled up on the edges with your fedora,
your hey dudes or whatever they are they put on their feet?
Yeah, you're like over here. You're talking about some obscure band that no one's ever heard of, but you're telling them it's the greatest ever because the last obscure band that you loved got popular last week. Now you hate them.
Oh yeah,
and now you're
done with that.
Yeah, and you're but to your credit, you quit drinking because you got a little crazy, and now you're drinking, but you're still so pretentious. You got to drink non-alcoholic IPAs.
Yeah.
Shout out to all the hipsters out there.
Yeah, I got to drink. I have to drink to get drunk, and then drink. That's probably what I need to do is drink non-alcoholic IPAs, so that I don't just get death.
You know what? That would be a way to curb your like if you felt like you was drinking too much, but you didn't want to quit fully.
Yeah,
get some NAs and some alcoholic beers, and just go one for one.
Just go one for one.
That might work.
And lose some friends in public too. Like if you're just drinking non-alcoholic IPAs all day, I'd be a different person. I tried.
Oh man. Anyway, sorry about last week. I had a bit of emergency. I had my left eye decided to lose about 20 times its sight in an instant, and it freaked me out. I got it back. I didn't go completely blind in the eye, but when stuff like that happens instantly, you start thinking about things like strokes and aneurysms. And
turned out it was a voodoo doll, I think, or something.
I don't know what it was.
Somebody stabbing him in the eyeball with a.
Maybe it's just lack of sleep. Maybe I drank a non-alcoholic IPA and it just really fucked me up. I don't know.
That's what it was. But it was the thought of drinking a non-alcoholic IPA put you in a stroke. Yeah. You did have a stroke. It was just.
But I freaked out, and then I had a little bit of a panic attack because, when you get older, it's like dying's always right around the corner. But anyway, we're not going down that road, but that's what happened last week. And then we got busy.
Just an average death podcast.
And then we got busy with stuff going on for the rest of the week. So we're back this week, and we're not going to really hit on what happened last week's playoffs. We'll talk a little bit about what transpired this weekend. So let's go ahead and roll into that. Let's just because I haven't heard it in so long.
Yeah.
No,
it's pretty suited.
Please, no.
This is actually I should have saved this for when we review my hot takes. I had.
Or half of my smashes if we talk about them.
Yes. But yeah, so I'll be honest with you. I was traveling on Sunday. I had to go to North Carolina for a different doctor's appointment, just a routine checkup. But I used the VA in Charlotte because the VA in Atlanta is atrocious.
Yeah.
And so I go up there once or twice a year. So anyway, I was traveling, so I missed a large portion of the Eagles game, and then I tried to watch the Chiefs game, but the hotel I was at, which was a fairly nice hotel, it's called like True by Hilton. It's like Hilton's budget hotel, but it's still a Hilton, you know.
Yeah.
And anyway, but the live TV was like in and out. Like I would get the game perfectly fine for like 10 minutes, and then the screen would go black and say I had no signal.
That was Fox. It did it here too. While I was streaming on Fox, it kept doing it. I had to keep backing out and coming back into the game.
Well, maybe it was the network issue.
CBS.
It was CBS.
Yeah. It kept doing the same thing for me too. So
I got so fed up with it. I was also tired that towards the end of the game, I'm like, F, I don't want to sleep.
It was well deserved sleep.
Yeah. I missed the whole play. I have since watched the video, the big controversial first down or not first down.
There's a couple instances in the game that were up for talks.
Yeah.
And I'm to the point now where it's like with any NFL game, it doesn't matter if it's the Chiefs or the whatever. It's any of them. There's so much that everybody's going to bitch and whine about. And
well,
it's not
my biggest thing is so the thing is too. And I can go on a little bit of a rant for this. The whole idea that the games are rigged to me is just absolutely stupid. I'm not, the amount of people that would have to be in on this, the amount of whatever, and if they're rigging these games, if these are quote scripted games, why would they even make it come down to a play that could be under dispute?
That could be reviewed or under question.
Yeah, I mean, that's the stupidest thing about conspiracy theorists that drives me absolutely insane. And it's like clearly because of that play was that first down should have been. I was like, well, buddy, if it was scripted, they would have never had a first down that close.
Yeah, it would have even been that
because
close.
That's the dumbest thing in the world. That's the thing. And do you think Josh Allen is going to sit back and keep his mouth shut to be scripted out of the Super Bowl year after year?
The emotion in his face.
Dude's like trying not to cry at the press conference.
He did everything he could do.
He holds all these records in the postseason and never gets there.
In this game was especially shitty to me. The defense, they're garbage. They need to just not. He doesn't need weapons.
Well, here's
Allen
the problem.
Can do it. They need defense.
It's crazy is that McDermott made his nut in the NFL by being a defensive coordinator. That's like his thing. And the problem is, one of the biggest problems is they refuse to play zone against the freaking wide receivers. Against the Chiefs wide receivers. They lose their top corner early in that game. And then they put the guy out there who was getting toasted.
Oh yeah,
and they were trying to bring some safety help. Well, guess what? You're playing against great offensive minds in Andy Reid, a great offensive players in Mahomes, and they're going to exploit it.
All this stuff.
And so here's the thing, dude. Play a little bit of zone. Play something they're not expecting. You got to do something to help your guys out.
Yep.
And it's frustrating that you see these people that are they're great minds, but it's like sometimes they just get stuck in their ways.
They're missing. They're not paying attention, or they're not.
I think a lot of times they're just like, this is the way I've done it. This is what got us here.
This is what
you know what the great ones change what got them here.
Yeah,
you saw what Nick Saban did when he benched Jalen Hurts in a championship game, or might have been a playoff. I can't remember exactly.
Yeah.
But he benched and brought in Tua Tagovailoa, and then he benched Tua to bring Hurts back in the next year, and he won doing these things.
Yeah.
That sometimes you got to put your nuts on the table and make big decisions. And it's sometimes, when you're consistently not able to get over a hump, you've got to try. What you're doing is not working.
Yeah.
So you better try something different. But yeah, I feel for Josh as far as the first down play went. I've seen the replays. The thing is whatever was called on the field was going to stay.
Well, to me, the first play, Kincaid, when he jumped for the ball, he should have had the first down with that one. He literally hit the first down line before his knees touched the ground, but they marked him short, just inches.
Right.
And then if you watch it live, it's like, okay, they got stopped. But if you go back and watch these replays and these slow mos and this is the exact line and all, and it's to a point where it's not arguable to me.
Right.
It's done. It's over. Yeah. They called it. It stopped. Let it run. We shouldn't be.
There's other plays. There's two passes that Kincaid missed.
Oh,
there was where both of them were plays where Josh Allen had to scramble, was under pressure, and they were both catchable balls. One he had a guy all over his back, and it was really close. The other one, he sent up a prayer, and Kincaid came in, and it hit him right in the hands.
It was like Mac Hollins was there, and Kincaid was there, and Kincaid dove out at it, and it was in his hands, and it went literally through his hands. It bounced off them big rocks.
For
hands he's got.
Yeah, and so it's like, we can all you can bitch about those one or two plays, but it's like I've heard before, is like don't ever play a game in a way that you put it in the ref's hands.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And it goes for kickers too. Don't ever play a game in a way that you put it in a kicker's hands. And so you go out and make the plays that you're supposed to make, and you make, big players make big plays in big moments. And Dalton Kincaid shrunk in big moments. Just like Mark Andrews did when he shrunk in his big moment.
Yep.
And so those are the things that define who goes to Super Bowls and who's at home on the couch.
I'll tell you, Mac Hollins stepped the fuck
he
up.
Did.
Like,
he did. He played like somebody who was trying to get to a Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
Josh Allen played like somebody trying to get a Super Bowl.
Played like somebody
James
that's
Cook
in a Super Bowl. They played. Yeah, I mean, they were out there.
And Dalton Kincaid played like somebody who was scared.
Yeah, it was definitely
that offensive line was getting ate up by the blitz too.
Yeah.
Josh Allen was under pressure just about every time he turned around.
He got sacked twice in that game, and he only got sacked once all season, or twice all season, something like that. I think it was like, as far as like regular season.
Right.
He got sacked last week too, but yeah, no, and that catch by Worthy, I think was BS too.
Yeah.
But I mean, it all comes down to the refs. And we can sit over here in our ivory towers and watching the game because we know so much better than all these, and it's
everybody look, this overwhelming idea that it's all rigged is just stupid.
Oh yeah, no,
and it's like, if somebody comes up to me and that's their argument for why things are, I'm like, all right, fine, I don't even listen to you, because at the minute that comes out of your face hole, you lose all credibility with me.
I do wonder like how difficult it would be to put in like a thin metal sensor in the football.
I have wondered this.
Like, like the lines in the goal lines.
They have it in
every Walmart front door.
Yeah. No, there's other sports. I don't know that they have that'll track the location.
Tennis. In tennis, it reads to the point where the ball hits.
Right.
It can tell where the ball hits on the line.
I've wondered that for years. Why they don't have the football. It would be extremely easy. And the other thing is, people don't understand
with
the yellow line on the screen is not.
Oh, it's not.
That's not official. So
it's just what the TV's showing.
And it's where the ball is. And when he turned his back and he had his arm in the way, you can't see the ball.
You judge by his shoulder, and you can kind of see it, like maybe, but you can't. Really can't
it was no definitive. And like I said, whatever was called on the field was what it was going to be.
Yeah.
And I get it. Everybody hates the Chiefs now. 2 years ago, 3 years ago, everybody loved the Chiefs because they were new kids on the block.
Yeah.
And it's just like when the Patriots, everybody hates them now. They're tired of
win so much.
Yeah, they win so and so it's like what's the thing? You become a hero if you become a hero long enough, you'll eventually become the villain or some shit. Whatever that quote is. And it's true.
Sounds pretty close.
Yeah, if you stay on top long enough, you're eventually going to be hated.
Yeah,
and that's where they're at now. I personally am pulling for them. I want them to go out there and get the 3-peat because that'll be the only time it's ever been done.
Yeah.
So I'm rooting for history. And so if it's going to happen, plus I cannot under any circumstances bring myself to root for anything Philadelphia.
I just want Saquon
I hate that I like the Rocky movies. That's how much I don't like Philadelphia.
I hope that they go, oh no, Jalen Hurts can't play, and neither can AJ Brown or anybody. Saquon Barkley is going to be the only one for the Eagles to play. Because he is doing something special this year.
If the Eagles have to win, it would be good for Jalen Hurts to get a ring, and it would be good for Barkley to get a ring because Jalen Hurts is always the quarterback where everybody's ready. They're just ready to boot him out of the door.
They wrote him off,
yeah.
and this is the second time. This will be in 3 years. This will be the second time they've been there.
Yeah.
And Saquon is the
dude. That guy's insane. He's insane. We'll talk a little bit about more him later because he was. In our smash pass or sleepers, we'll get to that.
He's had 7 carries this year, over 60-yard touchdowns.
Yeah, and I think the next closest was like 1.
Yeah, I know. It's insane. I paternal Washington's game. I was at work, and of course, Washington, like, they looked a shambles, really. That first run,
but they need to be proud. I know there's no such thing as a moral victory, but they should be extremely proud to have a rookie
they
QB,
did great this year.
A new coach, a new ownership group, and they completely changed the vibes of Washington.
Way better than I thought they were going to be.
Absolutely.
And they were astronomically
we had them
tenfold.
We had them finishing last in our predictions, and that's what we're going to talk about here in a minute. Yeah,
four games, I think we had them winning.
We did not see this at all.
Definitely missed that call. They've done great. It was, them being there is awesome, but they looked struggling the first set.
Yeah.
And then when Saquon touched the ball,
you turn the ball over. Well, the other thing is turning the ball over. If you go and look, every team that's won the turnover battle in the playoffs has won the game.
And it was just so crazy to me. They went down, scored the field goal, and then Saquon's first touch was a 61-yard touchdown. And I'm like, the Eagles didn't even have the ball for like 20 seconds.
So
I'm like,
good, dude.
it's already 7-3, and then you see
Here's
the
thing that you wonder though. It's like him in New York, he was good.
Yeah. Oh no. He
but
was,
man,
he was good,
had
but,
he gone to a team like the Eagles from the jump,
well, let's say he had this O-line
he would be
since he was a rookie.
Jesus, it would be insane, dude.
He would be Jesus. He'd be football running back Jesus.
Well, the thing is too, when you play on bad teams, you're playing from behind. You don't have opportunity to run the ball in the second half. You're too busy trying to play catch up.
And could you imagine
to be on a team that's playing with a lead or playing at least close games late in the game, so you still got the run game as an option?
Could you imagine what he would have finished with this year had he been on the Eagles and the Eagles had somebody like Tua as a quarterback?
Oh yeah,
like if he didn't take 14 touchdowns from him. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like if he got
absolutely,
he got 14 touchdowns this year because he had to run 60 yards, so Jalen Hurts didn't get the touchdown. That's why he had such a good year.
Yes, yes.
He's like, oh my God, I got to get my touchdown because if he falls short, Hurts is going to run it in.
I'm pretty sure Frankie Louvu just dove over the line one more time.
As he should. But yeah, no, it was a decent game. I didn't finish it because
it was better than the score showed. In the second half, when they kept having to go for it on fourth down, it got out of hand then because they were turning the ball over close to the end zone. But when you got down and you had to go for it, and so it's like fourth and long, you're on the other team's like 25. It's like, well, there's an easy score for them. So
yeah, it was definitely.
But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. We got a couple weeks now to get ready for the Super Bowl. Another, Eagles. They should sign Jason Kelce to come back and play just in the Super Bowl.
Just Super Bowl, yeah. They definitely should. That'd be nice.
But all right, so let's roll into. We're gonna go over our hot takes first, and then I'll just go ahead and hit this again.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No!
Yeah.
No!
That's what
No!
That's how I feel. I'm going to go ahead and give one of these as well, because I'll give you all 5 of mine real quick, and then we can move on. I had DK Metcalf, top 5 wide receiver. Will Levis as a QB1. Luke McCaffrey finishing in the top 36 at wide receiver. Najee Harris as a top 5 running back. And last and least, Kyler Murray as a top 3 quarterback.
I don't think any of those worked out.
Those takes weren't hot. They were hot doo-doos. What those takes were. Absolute garbage can.
Oh, hot doo-doo takes.
All right, so I know you got some hot doo-doo takes too, but give me some good ones. I know you got a couple good ones that we can.
Can I do my doo-doo ones first, just so I can get the want-wants out of the way?
Yeah, let's go do it.
All right, I said Tank Dell was going to finish as a wide receiver 1 for the Houston Texans. Nah, it didn't happen.
No.
I said Trevor Lawrence was going to finish as a top 10 quarterback in the league this year. That didn't happen. I don't even know if he finished top 10 for his team. Mac Jones went out there and showed him how to play football. I said Tua falls down to QB 15 or worse, and I think it was QB 21. So that worked out okay.
Yeah.
Aaron Jones finished his top 12. It wasn't quite that high.
It was 15,
but I mean,
I'll give you.
Yeah, it was still close. And Jameson Williams finishes as wide receiver 24 or better. He finishes wide receiver 19. So
yeah, you nailed that one.
Got 3 out of 5 is not too terrible. So
I didn't even get 5. I'm just kidding. Those weren't my hot takes. My hot takes were Brian Thomas Jr. as a top 5 wide receiver.
Oh, nailed it. Nailed it.
No, that's not it. All right. So from there, we'll go ahead and hit on. So we went through the beginning of the season and we predicted how we thought teams would finish. We had a smash pass or sleeper from every division. And then we picked a smash pass or sleeper that we were going to ride with for the season. And we picked our Super Bowl champs or whatever. Let's just, we obviously had the Chiefs finish in the top. That was pretty good. I don't think either one of us had them going 15-2, but we still had them number 1 in their division.
I don't even have my water washed away. What I put.
Oh, okay. The Chargers did finish second, and then we did not have the Broncos. The Broncos were a surprise. I had them at 7-10. They went 10-7.
Yeah, I had them at 6 and whatever 6. So I had them at 6 wins. I just wrote the wins down. So.
Gotcha. My smash was Isaiah Pacheco. He got hurt. My pass was Devontae Adams. He finished as wide receiver 16, so that was not a good pass. He was a good draft pick.
What was he drafted at, though?
Oh, actually, he was drafted at 14. So he basically finished. He was drafted at wide receiver 10.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, he lost base. So it's not a super pass, but it's still a pass. I mean, it's still commendable. I mean, if you passed on him at that and you took somebody that finished better, that'd be, I had
Jaleel McLaughlin as my sleeper pick. I mean, he finished at RB 48. He was drafted at RB 51. So that's definitely not it's a wash.
I had Hollywood as a smash. I didn't know he was going to be on IR the whole year.
Yeah, that doesn't really.
I passed on all the Broncos, so that was probably a good thing in a way, unless I would have drafted Bo Nix.
Yeah,
I can't. I mean,
Bo
Cortland
Nix
Sutton did
was good. Yeah,
Cortland Sutton. But I mean, outside of that, I mean,
Mims at the end of the season, but for most of the season,
but yeah, as
you
far
weren't
as
happy.
draft wise, you probably And then I said sleeper was Kami Vidal. I was playing on that hopeful injury, and it didn't happen. Now,
Even when it happened, he didn't get play time.
Yeah,
so.
Gus came back. Gus went out.
Yeah.
JK went out. Gus came back. It was kind of a but he didn't, so it didn't work out. But still, not too terrible, I don't guess.
The AFC East, we had the Bills winning that, I'm sure. The Dolphins, I had finishing second. They did finish second, but not with the record.
Yeah, I had 11-6.
And then we had the Giants at 10-7. I did. They were 5-12. I mean the Jets.
They were 5-12.
And then the Patriots, we nailed that one 4-13.
Yeah. Our consensus, I had them at 5-12. You had them at 3-11 or something.
My smash was Curtis Samuel. That was hot garbage. I didn't even look at where he finished. He was drafted at wide receiver 50.
He probably finished
$1 billion and $3.
I think the only time he caught the ball was last game.
Ramondre Stevenson, I passed on him at RB18s where he drafted. He finished at RB25, so he didn't kill you. And then I my sleeper was Demario Douglas, a wide receiver 71. He finished at 56. So you got some weeks out of him if you took him.
Yeah,
I mean, he definitely wasn't somebody you could play with any confidence week by week.
But what was his drafted? Like, what was his draft?
Wide receiver 71.
And he finished what?
At 56.
Yeah, it's not great, but it's not bad. Yeah, I mean, you definitely would have had him in flex play,
right?
There, so my smash was Keon Coleman. I don't remember where he finished. It's not really that great. He missed weeks with injury. He didn't smash, but. And then I said pass on Tyreek Hill.
That was a good pass.
Yeah,
that was a damn good pass.
I think they had him 3 overall, wide receiver 2.
Nailed that. I wish I'd have listened to you.
And then my sleeper was Tyler Conklin, and that didn't happen because I didn't realize that, Aaron Rodgers is the Jets. Like, he just became the Jets. He took a season off and embodied the Jets.
Embodied the Jets as an organization.
It just
in the worst possible ways.
The worst ways. And then vomited it onto the field. All that Jetsism or whatever it is.
And then the AFC North, we had the Ravens at the top. That happened. We had Cincinnati second. Actually, it was the Steelers who finished second, and then the Bengals were third. I had the Browns third, and they were not third. I had them at 10-7. They went 3-14, so I missed that one.
I had them at 8-9. So I wasn't far off.
Like I look back now, and I'm like, what was I thinking?
Yeah, I don't know either. Like I don't know where I got them at 8 wins. Unless they just had a really soft schedule, we thought they were going to beat. Like, they probably played Washington and played, these other teams we didn't know were going to do good.
Yeah,
the Broncos and stuff.
Yeah.
That's
the Steelers too. I didn't have the Steelers being as good as they were.
Yeah, I had them at 9-8, but I mean,
I had them finishing last in the division at 9-8, and they finished second at 10-7. So the record wasn't off, but the placing was.
Yeah, the placing was.
So my smash was Pat Freiermuth. He was drafted at tight end 15. He finished at tight end 10. That's not a smash. My pass was Joe Burrow at QB7. He finished at QB3. At the beginning of the season, it was a good call. And then he took off like a rocket ship. Then my sleeper, this is one of my best sleepers, I think. Rashad Bateman. He was drafted at wide receiver 79. He finished at wide receiver 32. He gave you some good weeks. He even had a couple week winning type performances in there for you too.
Yeah.
And so I feel good about that as a sleeper pick.
So smash, like, weirdly enough, all my guys my passes are great. My smashes are not so good.
I didn't do real good. I have not hit on a smash yet.
Yeah,
so.
I smashed on George Pickens.
Yeah.
He was going at wide receiver 48. He finishes 42.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not
for a minute. It looked like that was going to be a smash.
Yeah, I thought for a second, and then I passed on Zach Moss, of course.
Yeah, that was a good pass.
I mean. And then my sleeper was Jerome Ford. Now, I mean, he did get injured.
It took a tremendous injury to get there, but
what's his name? Chubb came back and took some touches and stuff. So
and then Chubb got hurt again. Then Ford was good at the end.
He still finished as running back 34, and he was drafted at running back 36. So it wasn't a good sleeper, but had you drafted him, you probably wouldn't get too upset.
Right? Yeah, you definitely were happy at the end of the season. So if you had him as a handcuff, you were definitely thank God.
Oh yeah.
The AFC South, I don't know why. This is another one where I'm like, what the fuck was I thinking? I had Jacksonville winning the division 11-6. They finished 4-13.
Yeah.
I had Houston at 11-6, finishing second. They went 10-7, so that was pretty accurate.
close. Yeah.
I should have just swapped those when I did my predictions. I would look smarter. Tennessee Titans at 8-9. They went 3-14, and then the Colts at 7-10. They went 8-9. So.
I had the Titans 5-12, so I mean I wasn't too far off of their record, and then I had the Colts at 7-10. So
yeah, you're way closer on the Titans than I was. My Ash. All right, if you're listening, you're a little bit of a clip there. I didn't lock the keyboard and I hit it with my book and reset the whole show.
That's going to be a genius play.
But luckily, it didn't erase everything. All right, so my smash was Evan Ingram, but he got hurt, so it didn't really count. My pass. This is one of my good passes. C.J. Stroud at QB5. He finished at QB 18. So.
Oh yeah. Nice.
And then I had Trevor Lawrence as my sleeper, and he got hurt. So, those predictions weren't good all around.
I'm trying to look up my sleeper. I don't think he played this last year. It looks like.
Who was your sleeper?
Tyler Boyd.
Oh yeah, he didn't play. You don't even got to look him up, dude.
94. Okay,
you ain't got to look him up.
He was wide receiver 82, and I was like, okay, well, if Daniel thinks they're going to win 9 games, he's got to get some play.
Yeah, he did not.
That was my sleeper.
A guy that generally averaged 100 targets a year with the Bengals got doo-doo.
Got no targets over there in Tennessee or whatever. But my smash was Joe Mixon, so holy hell did I nail that one.
Yes.
And then my pass was Anthony Richardson, which, boom.
Holy hell did you nail that one.
So, I mean, I hit pretty good ones on the head right there with that, but my sleeper was not good. So if you drafted Tyler Boyd because I told you to, sorry.
Well, he was a sleeper. Hopefully you didn't draft him. You just got him off waivers.
Got him off waivers.
And then you're like, nah, this guy's balls.
Yeah, this is no good at all.
All right, so the NFC West, I had the 49ers winning it. Foreshadow, I also had them winning the Super Bowl, so that's not a good call. I had them going 13-4. They went 6-11, so that was terrible. The Rams, I nailed that at 10-7. They went 10-7. The Cardinals at 8-9, they went 8-9, and the Seahawks at 10-7. I had them at 6-11. So that was the Seahawks and the 49ers where I fucked up in that one.
I had those 49ers at 12-5. So I mean, we're not too far off there. Yeah.
Let's see. I don't know. There's anybody who said, yeah, the 49ers are going to go 6-11.
Yeah, I know exactly. Yeah.
I don't feel too.
They
stupid.
also thought that McCaffrey was going to play football this year. So I mean,
right. That's funny.
Here we go.
My smash was DK Metcalf at wide receiver 20. He finished wide receiver 33. It started out good.
Yeah.
And then it just went downhill.
JSN just took over.
JSN took over, and despite the numbers, Geno was not very good.
Yeah, no, Geno took a big step back this year from last year. But so did their run game, essentially. I mean, Walker was always injured.
Well, a lot of it was predicated on the idea that this new offensive coordinator was coming in, and they were going to be like a spread them out, fast-paced offense, and they were not that.
They were not at all, yeah.
Let's see. My pass was Marvin Harrison at wide receiver 9. That was a good pass. He finished at wide receiver 31.
I mean, that's
my sleeper was DeMarcus Murray at wide receiver 80. He finished at wide receiver 54. I mean, he was the hard part with DeMarcus Robinson, DeMarcus Murray.
I was like, who the fuck is this guy you're talking about? He finishes what?
DeMarcus Robinson. Is that you don't never know the games he's going to get 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So but he came on more towards the end of the season. So
yeah. Excuse me. So my smash was pretty bad. I said Kyler Murray was going to be a smash. I mean, they had him
Doo-doo Browntown.
QB 10. He finished at QB like 18 or something.
Yes,
so
QB ass.
I did pass on Puka Nacua, which it wasn't because I knew he was going to get injured, but he was going off as wide receiver 7.
Yeah,
and I think he finished at like 18 or 17 or something.
Yeah, because of the injury.
Because of the injury, not because of talent. I passed because
in the games that he played, he was phenomenal.
More than phenomenal. He will never be a pass. Not ever again.
Yeah.
Like it was so. And I should have just said Cooper Kupp because everybody passed on him too this year. And then my sleeper was Blake Corum, and he just didn't get to play I thought he was going to get. And even when what's his name was down minimal time down, but he would sit sideline. Corum didn't even really get to touch the ball that much.
And he didn't really do a lot when he did touch the ball.
I'm kind of worried about his place moving forward. As far as the next
same thing
goes,
with Trey Benson. So
yeah, exactly. Benson's another one too. Yeah.
The NFC East, we had the Eagles winning. They did.
Yeah.
I had them at 14. I had them 13-4. They went 14-3. I had the Cowboys finish second. They did not.
No, they did not.
Had the Giants at third at 6-11. They went 3-14. They finished last. And then The surprise team, obviously, in this division for just about everybody in the world was the Washington Commanders.
Yeah.
We had them going 4-13. They went 12-5. They were phenomenal. They were great. Jaden Daniels.
There he is.
Is the real deal. I hope that his VR headset and his ability to play at 1.75 speed with that VR headset, I hope it takes him on a long, illustrious career. My smash was Dak Prescott. He got hurt, so that doesn't count. My pass. Well, actually, I want to switch them. Can I do that? I want to switch my smash and my pass.
You smash and pass?
Yeah, my smash, surprisingly, was Saquon Barkley.
Oh yeah, that seems suited.
No, I passed on Barkley. He was being drafted, and look, when I say I passed on Barkley, I still drafted him in leagues. I had him, but he was going off at RB5. I did not think he would finish as RB5 on a new team in a new scheme with a running back who steals touchdowns. I didn't realize he was going to have a record-breaking season. I was wrong. He finishes RB1, one of the greatest seasons you'll ever get out of a fantasy running back. And then my sleeper was Jalen Hyatt being drafted.
How did that work out?
He was drafted at wide receiver 84.
You meant to
I didn't
say
even
Neighbors, right? You said Malik Neighbors.
Yes,
Yeah, you just mixed them up.
Malik Neighbors.
Right, yeah,
yes.
I got you. That's
Jalen Hyatt, that dude, he's. I didn't even look at where he finished.
Yeah, you don't have to.
It's going to be the last.
He didn't. He's just below Tyler Boyd.
It's like in NASCAR when you have the DNFs at the bottom. He had a DNF for the season.
He had a DNF for the season. Did not finish exactly. All right, so I guess we got to talk about mine. I think I want to say this is. No, I didn't get all these right either. My smash was CD Lamb. Now had Dak played the whole season, had CD not missed a few games with injury. Maybe, but he still finished as wide receiver 8,
right?
And he missed 4 games.
And
so,
he finished at wide receiver 8, and you're like, damn, he had a bad season, but he really did.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's like, you know, and all the guys that beat him, it was still kind of close.
Yeah,
but he missed 4 games. So I mean, it's like, and then my pass was Jalen Hurts. He was going off at QB3.
Yeah.
And he finished as QB9. So I mean, there was 6 others around.
I mean, if you drafted Joe Burrow, you'd be better off.
That's what I'm saying. Joe Burrow. You could have grabbed who finished ahead of him. Just curious.
Jay Daniels,
Baker Mayfield. You could have waited and got him like way at the end of the draft and got Baker Mayfield. Jared Goff, Bo Nix,
right?
Sam Darnold. I mean, not that you would have known, but you could have been like, damn it, I got to take Baker here, and would have been happy. And then my smash or my sleeper was Tyrone Tracy, RB26. He was going
that was a good call.
RB58.
That was a damn good call.
Yeah, he took over the backfield and did really well.
A beast.
I mean, he did really well.
I hope that he gets the opportunity to be a beast next year too.
Yeah, I'm
with
really
whoever
curious
the
new quarterback's going to be.
I hope they go with Drew Lock. I hope that's what they do. Not that I think Drew Lock's going to be good. I don't think they're drafting high enough to get
a real.
And I can't remember where they're picking, but I don't know if they're going to get Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders. And if they're not going to get one of those two, and they reach for any of the others, they're just going to be in the same boat they were with Daniel Jones.
They can go after Kent Cousins. I think he'll probably be available next year.
Well, Darnold might be available next season.
May be available.
So
might be able to go
they might go after somebody like that, but I just don't think the Giants, unless they're going to trade up into the top 3, because I don't think I don't know that QB is going to be 101 this year, but because I'm trying to remember who's got the first overall pick.
The Patriots.
Yeah, so they're
the Patriots.
Yeah,
got the first.
No, they don't. No, they're 4. That's part of what got their coach fired.
Yeah, never mind. That's right. Yeah, because they put Joe Milton in and he balled.
Yeah,
that's another one that might be available next year too. Is Joe Milton? He did okay.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to move him. He's still on a rookie contract. There's no incentive unless somebody just offers him a deal. But I don't think anybody's going to come in and offer
because they got Drake May there. So I mean, it's just like
but I don't think Joe Milton. He had one game. I don't think anybody's going to come in and be like, oh, when.
We want this guy.
And I don't think they have no incentive to get rid of him unless somebody's going to overpay.
Give something, they were riding with Daniel Jones, so I mean, it's stupider things have happened.
Right. I think they can get by with Drew Lock next year and then worry about the quarterback the year after.
Following,
yeah, but we'll see.
It makes sense. I think they should at least try it too, but so
that was your sleeper, right?
Yeah, that was my sleeper, Tyrone Tracy. Yeah.
All right, so the next division up for grabs is the NFC North. We both had the Lions winning that. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. I had them 12-5.
I had them at 13-4. They went 15-2. They balled out. Yes. I had the Packers finishing second. Well, and the Vikings actually finished second. I did not have the Vikings correctly. I had the Packers dead nuts, 11-6, 11-6.
Yeah.
But I had the Vikings at 7-10. They went 14-3.
Yeah, I had them 5-12. So,
yeah,
I mean, but
yeah. You really were not on the. I mean, well,
it was JJ McCarthy before.
It was JJ McCarthy and Sam Darnold. It wasn't like they were looking great.
Exactly, and it's a rookie. You know, it's like I don't know. Really, they're going to start this guy. I don't know what he's like, what he's going to be,
and then we both pretty much said the Bears were going to suck, and they did. I had them at 5-12. They finished 5-12.
6-11. Yeah, so I had them win in one game, but it was an accidental win. It was a defense.
The Giants might be a top 3 pick. Let me look at these records real quick while we're talking. Hell, the Giants might be the number 1 overall pick. I might be talking out of my butthole. They got the worst record, so they unless they fucked up and traded that pick. They
Titans are number 1, then the Browns and the Giants.
Okay, so they might be able to get a QB. If they can get one of those 2 QBs, then I think they'll take it.
Yeah.
Anyway, my smash for that division was Cole Kmet at tight end 16. He finished at 18. That was not a smash. My pass was DeAndre Swift at RB 22. He finished at RB 19, so that was not a pass. And my sleeper was Dontavian Wicks at wide receiver 63, and he finished at 74, and that was not a sleeper. So I did not do well. Everybody that I picked in that division basically finished where they were drafted, within 5 or 6, or whatever.
All right, so my smash was Jameson Williams.
That was great.
48 wide receiver. I think he finished 19. So
yeah, that was great.
That's a great smash. My pass was Keenan Allen. They had him going off at wide receiver 30. He finishes 35. So, I mean, it's not far out of it, but I mean.
And he was hurt at the beginning of the season, too. So it was like you didn't really, I think the first 4 or 5 weeks, you couldn't even use him.
I figured it, they got DJ Moore there. They got a rookie quarterback. He's not going to get utilized. I didn't think it was going to happen. He did a lot better than it's not a pass.
He was somebody you could have picked up late in the season. So if you had him, you got him off waivers most likely.
And you were okay. But I mean, they had him going off as wide receiver 30 on the season at ADP.
No, that was a good call.
And then Ty Chandler was my sleeper, and he didn't do anything, so it didn't really matter. It didn't really need to.
It's just like he did okay at the end of the season before, and we're like, oh, maybe
he's got a shot.
Maybe Aaron Jones isn't him anymore, and Aaron Jones was still him.
Oh, so. He's still got a little him left in him. Yeah, he's definitely him.
All right, and then the NFC South was where we ended things up. We had the Falcons, I had the Falcons win the division. They did not. The Bucs won the division. It was basically I had the Falcons at 8-9 or 11-6. They went 8-9. I had Tampa going at 9-8. They went 10-7. And then
I had the Bucs at 10-7 and Falcons 11-6 too. So
and we had the Saints and the Panthers at the bottom too. That's where they finished. The Panthers actually finished above the Saints, surprisingly, but both teams finished at 5-12, which I nailed the record for the Panthers at 5-12.
That's me too. Saints were 5-12 too.
Yeah,
so I nailed that one too.
Yeah, so good call. The smash was my smash was Keaton Cousins, drafted at QB 19. He finished at QB 20, so that was not a good play. My pass was Mike Evans at wide receiver 15. Guess what? That was terrible because he finished at wide receiver 7. And then my sleeper, this is pretty good. Darnell Mooney was wide receiver 70. He finished at wide receiver 25. And for a vast majority of the season, he was a wide receiver 1. Yeah. It tapered off at the end of the season, but
along with King Cousins.
When King went down in a ball of fire, so did Mooney's productivity. So I felt good about this. At least I got the smash of that one.
I don't even think my sleeper freaking played.
Who was your sleeper?
A.T. Perry?
Yeah, he didn't. He's a DNP.
Yeah, he's not even on the same team. DNF. He's on Denver right now.
Yeah, he's DNF.
So he didn't even survive the team this year. So
and here's the bad thing about that. They had no wide receivers, and he still didn't play.
Exactly. So I'm over here like, So that was a terrible sleeper.
Yeah,
terrible. But even worse, I can beat that.
Oh yeah,
with my smash.
Oh, here we go.
I said Kyle Pitts was going to smash this year.
Oh man, I'll never. Don't ever say that.
Going off the board at tight end 7, I'm like, dude is going to finish 2 overall. And you know what he did? He finished as tight end 15.
Yeah,
not even 300th overall. No. Like it was garbage can, man.
Tight end 15 is 300th.
That's
overall.
what I'm saying. I'm done. I'm done with it. But I did okay with my pass. I said pass on Rachaad White.
Yes.
And I mean, he was going off at RB 13. He finished as 34.
So, yeah, that's a good call.
Or 24, excuse me. He still finished higher than I thought he was going to, but it still was a good pass.
And then my Super Bowl prediction, I had the Ravens playing the 49ers with the 49ers winning. Garbage.
I had Bills Lions with the Lions winning, so it didn't work out either. Lions got put out a lot quicker than I thought they were going to, though. So it was.
And my AFC smash that I rode with this season was Isaiah Pacheco. My NFC smash was DK Metcalf. My wild card smash was Kirk Cousins, and my sleeper smash was Dontavian Wicks.
So my NFC smash, Jameson Williams. I rode that hard, played it 10 times. AFC smash was George Pickens. So not as my wild card smash. Get ready.
I'm ready.
Kyle Pitts.
Dang, I forgot how hard you were on the Kyle Pitts train.
And then my sleeper was Blake Corum, and that didn't work out at all either. So here we go.
Well, here's some draft don'ts. I just seen this list. So this wasn't even planned to be part of the show. Here's people I said don't draft. I said don't draft the Devontae Adams. That was wrong. But I also said don't draft Michael Pittman. That was a good call. I said don't draft Stephon Diggs, C.J. Stroud, Ramondre Stevenson, DeAndre Swift, Tony Pollard. That was a bad call. And any Bears wide receiver because of where they were going off of the board. I'm pretty sure DJ Moore was okay, but the rest would have killed you.
Yeah. So I got some Baker's bottoms I talked about earlier too.
Oh yeah,
so,
what do we got?
Ignore the Ty Chandler. Ignore the Blake Corum. Let's talk big on Tyrone Tracy. He was one of my smashes or my bottoms. I also said try to grab one of the Bills running backs, Roshan or Khalil, and neither one of that would have helped you out.
You mean wide receiver?
No, Roshan Johnson and Khalil Herbert, the Bears running backs.
Oh, I thought you said Bills running backs.
No, sorry, Bears running backs. Yeah. But Khalil Herbert ended up going to the Bengals, and that didn't do him any good either.
No.
So that was trash. Wide receivers, I was like Trey Tucker, which he had a couple weeks.
He's all right.
Xavier Legette had a couple weeks.
Right.
Michael Wilson, I don't even know. I mean, there was
he's
a week
in the same vein. Yeah.
Gabe Davis.
He got hurt.
He sucked too. Mm-hmm. Then my tight ends were Jonnu Smith.
Oh, wow.
That would have worked out really well for you as a sleeper.
Yeah, that was a good call.
Or Baker's bottom. And then my quarterback was Justin Herbert.
That actually worked out.
They had him going off at QB 17. He finishes 12. So So, I mean, there's a couple little diamonds in the rough at the beginning of the season that might have worked out for you as far as Baker's bottoms go. But I thought they were sleeping on Herbert. They put him back at 17. And
before we get off the air, before we shut it down for this week, who's your Super Bowl pick? We got the Chiefs and we got the Eagles. So here it is. Here's the thing. You have to, right now, bet your entire worth. You win, you triple everything that you have monetarily. You lose, you're under an overpass.
So
living in a box.
Is there no what do they call it when
a spread?
So like if I put all my money on the Chiefs, I triple, but if I put all my money on the Eagles,
you're trying to hedge your belt, your bet,
I can quadruple or
no, we're just going straight up. We're not even betting against the spread.
So it's not
you got to pick the winner. If you win, you triple your entire net worth. You lose, you and your entire family have to go move into a refrigerator. I'll give you a refrigerator size cardboard, 2 refrigerator size cardboard boxes under an overpass in downtown Atlanta.
I'll take the Eagles.
You're taking the Eagles.
I'll take the Eagles.
If that's on the line for me, so if I can triple my net worth or live under an overpass, that means that I'm either going to make $35 or take a half a step down from my current arrangement. So I get the better end of this deal. I don't have as much on the line.
Yeah, you definitely. That's why I'm like, if I could bet on the Eagles, I mean, I'm going to bet on the Eagles. But if I get 10 times if the Eagles win, or 3 times if Kansas wins, then I'm going to take the Eagles side. I'm looking at. But
let me get my pick. I'm going with the Chiefs.
You're going with the Chiefs?
Yeah, I just think that they don't make mistakes.
Yeah,
they don't make mistakes, and the Eagles will make mistakes.
Yeah. Here's my thing. James Cook, Saquon Barkley. Saquon's a slight step up.
Absolutely.
Running back. He's
a giant step up.
Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen is a step back. receiver
with Jalen Hurts or Pat Mahomes.
Jalen Hurts is a step back from Josh Allen.
You're comparing. I got you.
You look at this last game. So it was close against the Bills.
Yeah,
and it could have went either way. It really could.
Hurts is absolutely a step back. So, but the defense of the Eagles is a massive step.
Is
up.
a big, and that's what the Bills needed.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking like if the Eagles show up like they did this season, like if they can show up defensively, and Hurts can be. Hurts and can get AJ Brown the ball, can get Devonta the ball in them clutch moments, and Saquon can be Saquon.
Yeah,
there's no way the Chiefs. I honestly, I'll tell you like this: it'll be a 31-17 game.
Oh, you think they're really going to smash them?
I really, if it plays out, because like
I think it's going to come down to the wire. The Chiefs don't know how to blow anybody good out.
Yeah, and they don't know how to win games that aren't ones. Like this last season's been like. It's been a one-score game. It's come down to defense, and I just think the Eagles' defense is so much better than the Bills were.
They're tremendous.
It's going to be one of those games where it's going to be a quick score. Chiefs are probably going to score pretty quick, and the defense is going to go nope, and they're going to shut it down, and the Eagles are going to score, and then they're going to score, and they're going to turn the ball over, and it's going to score. And it's
Have you ever known somebody that like no matter like whether it be work or whether it be a game you're playing or whatever the situation is, but you're with somebody. And you can just look at them and see that they're operating on a different level. Like they are seeing things before you're seeing things or anybody else seeing things. They're operating in a way, and they're not like over here talking smack because the person talking shit about how good they are is always the person that's not that good. They're just over there. They're operating in a way. So it's like if you're at work, this motherfucker, he's like on top of stuff. He's like, you come up, you're like, hey dude, he's like, I already know, I'm already on. It's already halfway taken care of.
Yep, half of it's done already.
That's to me is who Patrick Mahomes is when he's on the field. And he's looking across that field and he's looking at that defense. It's like, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I think I got the perfect play call. But if I look out there, I feel like Mahomes knows exactly what I'm doing. Like he's in my playbook.
Yeah, he's already figured out.
He's in my headset. And I just, it's like, I don't know. I just get the feeling that they're just in a, I don't know. They're such a weird team because they're not dominant. Like you remember some of the good Patriots teams, they would absolutely just fucking roll people.
Oh yeah.
And it's like the Chiefs, you go out there and it's like every game it comes down to a play or two. But the thing is that they make the play and the other team doesn't. Yeah. And so I don't know. I thought the Chiefs are going to win it. We're going to see a three-peat. We're going to see history, and then Travis Kelce's going to propose to Taylor Swift on the 50-yard line, and then he's going to announce his retirement.
I think he's still going to do that, but he's going to retire because he lost the Super Bowl.
Yeah, he's like, I came back for the three-peat. We didn't get it.
It didn't happen. I don't know. I just feel like the Eagles are doing something super special right now. I mean, it's all around clicking. I mean, it's a playoff game to go to the Super Bowl, and then late in the third quarter they sat Saquon Barkley because there was no need to even risk him. Yeah, I mean at that point it was like 28-39 or something.
If Saquon doesn't do a reverse hurdle, Eagles
into
don't
the
win.
End zone. Into the end zone. Would that not be
that
would be the
greatest
thing,
dude? If he pulls off the reverse hurdle again as he's crossing the goal line
over Chris Jones.
Oh my God, Chris Jones would also retire.
He would definitely retire. I would retire mid-play.
I would retire. People are like, why are you retiring? I'm like, because Saquon Barkley leaped backwards over Chris Jones into the end zone. I'm retiring from my job. And they're like, that doesn't make any sense. I'm like, it does if you don't think about it.
I have to get away from this. I'm just done with it all.
Yeah, I'm retired from fantasy football.
Saquon Barkley's, or he's going to do it. And Chris Jones is going to pull a flag out of his pocket.
Well, the thing is, I was like, I'm not watching football anymore. And people are like, why? I was like, because I just seen the greatest thing I've ever seen, and I'm never going to see anything better.
Nobody's ever going to beat it. That's it. That's the end of it.
I want the poster of it on my wall, and then that'll be it. That would be phenomenal. But yeah. If he doesn't do a reverse hurdle, they don't win. The only way they win is if he pulls a reverse hurdle off in the game.
I hope it's like first play, he gets the shotgun snap. Like he gets a shotgun snap. He reverse hurdles his center and the defender, and then lands on the ground.
Two people.
That's what's going to happen.
That's what it's got to be. A safety diving, and a defensive lineman standing there getting ready to tackle him, and he jumps over both of them.
It just lands it, and then lands it, sticks it, turns it upfield. Yeah, and then gets tackled at the 1 yard line.
I just want him to land it in the end zone and just land on his feet and stand there. Well, and then everybody just looks at him, and like there's for a split second, nobody does anything. Yeah, and then everybody just like even the Chiefs start cheering.
They just bring him the Super Bowl trophy out, give it straight to him. Yes. They're like, game's over. We're not playing anymore.
I want the play to be so phenomenal. The Chiefs start cheering, the refs start cheering, the whole sidelines, but they're just all cheering, and Saquon's just standing there with his hands on his hips after he's reverse hurdles 2 defenders into the end zone.
I think what needs to happen, he's going to have a 78-yard breakaway run.
Oh, it's got to be on a long run.
Well, he'll get tackled just before the end zone, and they'll fake the tush push and give it to Saquon for a reverse hurdle
over the tush push.
Over the tush push.
They'll do it. They'll snap it between
push him. Like,
no, the center will snap it like a long snapper.
Yeah.
Between Hurts's legs,
and then go straight to
Saquon. He'll be like 8 yards back, like where a punter would stand. He'll catch it and he'll run and then jump a reverse
and
hurdle.
Hurts will push him up over everybody.
No, you can't do that. But he'll do a reverse hurdle over both lines.
Yeah,
just straight over into the Frankie end zone. Louvu comes out of nowhere diving. He over to the top of Frankie Louvu, who they signed for some reason.
Just out of nowhere. Because Jalen Carter wasn't good enough or something.
Oh, God. We're such idiots.
Yeah, man, this Super Bowl's going to be crunk, man.
It's going to be fucking 7-9. It's going to be the worst Super Bowl we've ever seen.
Yeah. No, it won't be.
Barkley will rush for like 22 yards on 36 carries.
Yep.
Oh, God. Well, there it is. We'll talk to you next week. Hopefully we can get Bus in here and try to do a little bit of – we're going to do some Dynasty stuff probably next week. Talk about some buys and sells and things like that going into the Dynasty season. A bunch of the leagues that I'm in are flipping right now, so I'm kind of trying to put my teams. I'm trying to get more organized this year with my rebuild specifically, and I got a couple teams I got to decide if I'm going to rebuild. Maybe we talk a little bit about that and whatnot. And so hopefully for the few of you that are still tuned in, you haven't completely given up on us, and we'll get with you next week. Until then, if anything we say or do helps you get to that average place in your league, it means we did our job, because we all know when you finish average, you don't finish last. So I hope you guys have a good one out there, and we will talk to you next week.
Later.
That's not the right one.
Holla.